Depending on your position at work, you may need to compare your employees' performance versus their actual targets. For example, I work in revenue operations, and this is a monthly occurrence for me. And it's important to not only have the correct data, but also to be able to present it in a way that's easily understandable. So here's a walkthrough on how I create an actual versus target chart and how to make this dynamic so you can update very easily month over month or quarter over quarter. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe and don't forget to click that notify button so you're alerted when I post my next video. Without further ado, let's dive in. And today we're going to be creating this actual versus target chart and have it dynamically update. So that way when I select Q1, I can select Q2, Q3, and Q4, and I can see exactly how each of these individuals change over time. And I can also mark it where they're either active or inactive, and it will include them or it won't. Now the first thing we need to do before we build any charts is get to know our data. So in my performance tab, I have all of the different associates, the quarter, and the amount sold. And just like a normal database, you'll have different quarters stacked on top of each other. So I have Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4. If you go based off of your monthly amount sold instead of just your quarterly, this will still work, don't worry. I'm just using quarterly just to be simple. Now over here, I have my targets, and this one is the associate. Then I have Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4 targets for each associate. And this time, instead of being stacked on top of each other, each quarter has a different column. Now in my chart tab is where I'm going to build my chart. Right now I just have the targets and the amount sold for Q1. I'm going to show you how to make this all dynamic once everything's set up. But for now we're just going to build with one quarter. So right here we have our associate, we have our target, and we have our amount sold. Now I need 3 more columns, so I'll insert one column to the right. Just so you know, I am using tables just to simplify things and make things a little bit easier to configure without having to go back and forth between spreadsheets. If you don't know how to use tables, check out my table video, but you can also do it without tables. You'll just need to go manually select each of these columns. So the first thing we want to do is put actual. We'll add another column. We'll put target, and then we're going to put over target. All right, so the first thing we need to do is find the actual. So we want to show the actual up until the target max. If it exceeds the target max, then we want to have that listed as over target, and we want to have the maximum threshold for the target listed right here. And if it's under the target, then we want to have the difference between the actual and the target listed right here. So we're going to type equals if, open parentheses, C2 is less than or equal to B2. So if the amount sold is less than or equal to the target, then we're going to return C2. Otherwise, we're going to return B2 and press enter. Now we can go ahead and accept this autofill. So you can see that everything is equal to C2 with the exception of the ones that are over target. So for example, this one here, it's showing the target instead. All right, for the target, we only want to list how much difference there is between the amount sold and the target. So we're going to type equals if, open parentheses, C2 is less than B2. Then we're going to put B2 minus C2. Then we'll put a comma and we'll leave that blank so that way it's blank if it's false. And I'll go ahead and accept the autofill. So now you can see that we have 8,128 for actual. The target is 1,872. Those two combined is equal to the actual target. Down here, we don't have anything, and that's because the actual exceeds the target. So this is going to populate over here in over target. All right, so we have the actual, we have the target, and this is what combined for the target. Now, if we have more than the target being sold, instead of having it here, we want to have it in the over target. So what we're going to do is type equals if, open parentheses, C2 is less than or equal to B2, comma, comma. That way if C2 is less than or equal to B2, then it's blank. The reason why it's blank is because we already have that number accounted for right here. If it's not blank, meaning that it's greater than the target, then we're going to type in C2 minus B2. Close that parentheses and press enter. All right, so now once we drive that formula down, you can see that we have all of our overages for the ones where the actual amount sold is greater than the target over here in the over target column. And for the ones that are less than the target, we have all those in the target. Perfect, so that's all we need to build the chart. So we're going to go ahead and select A through F, go to Insert, Chart. We'll change the chart type to a bar chart stacked horizontally. Now we're going to delete targets. We're going to delete amount sold. So it should look something like this. So we have our actuals over all the way to the left. We have the target stacked on top of the actuals. And then for the ones that say over target, we have those stacked all the way to the right. And if you have any targets, you shouldn't see any over targets. And if you have any over targets, you shouldn't see any targets. All right, so I want to make this a little bit cleaner looking. So I'm going to go to Customize, then go to Series. And I'm going to recolor Actual as a green color because that's what the money was sold. I'm going to drop down to Target. I'm going to make this kind of a gray color. And I'm going to change the opacity to 50%. That way you can see where the targets were supposed to be, but you can tell that they weren't actually achieved. And then for the over target, instead of being yellow, I like to make them blue, but it's entirely up to you what color scheme you want to use. We'll go to Chart and Axis Title. So we'll say Actual versus Target. And I'm going to make that centered and bold. On the horizontal axis title, I'm going to put Amount Sold. And then on the vertical axis title, I'm going to put Associate. All right, so now we have our actual versus target chart. And you can see exactly who performed over their target and who didn't. So this is great if you have one set of data, but what if we want to make this dynamic? So that way we can simply select a different quarter, and then it will update the actual versus targets to show what quarter it's based off of. And this is good when you have month-over-month data that's refreshing, so you can send different targets. And it's also good to be able to look in the past to see who's performing, who's not. So the first thing we're going to do is under H1, we're going to insert a dropdown. And we're going to make this a dropdown from a range. Select the 4 little boxes, click into the data range, then go over here to targets and select all 4 of the headers. Once we press OK, you'll see we have Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4. And you can do this for as many headers as you want. If you have months, for example, that you want to filter through, you can go past where you have it as well. It will only show data that's currently there. All right, so now we have Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4 in this dropdown in H1. So we're going to use that here in a second to build our formulas. Over here under targets, we're going to delete everything that's currently there. And we're going to use a nested XLOOKUP formula. And if you've never heard of a nested XLOOKUP formula, it's very similar to XLOOKUP. We're just going to put an XLOOKUP within another XLOOKUP formula. So we're going to type equals XLOOKUP, select John Smith, put a comma. Under lookup range, we're going to go to our targets, and we'll select A2 all the way through the end of column A. Now, this is where it's different than what you're used to seeing. So instead of the result range being a single column or multiple columns based off of the single results, we want to return a single column, but we want to look up which column needs to be returned based off of another formula. So we're going to type in XLOOKUP. We're going to go back to our chart and select that H1 that we just created. I'm going to anchor that in with $signs to make it an absolute reference. And the hotkeys for that is F4. Put a comma. Back under targets, we're going to select all the different headers. Put a comma. And now we're going to select all the different options for the targets. And I always go past the current data set. That way, if anything gets added later on, it will still be included. I'm going to put a comma, so that way if it's a missing value, it'll be blank. Close the parentheses. So that way this inner XLOOKUP is now closed. And I'm going to put a comma again. That way if the XLOOKUP on the outside has missing values, it will also be blank. Close it out and press enter. So now you can see here we have 10,000 for John Smith. If we go to John Smith, we have 10,000 here. But I can drop down and select Q3, for example, and now we have 20,000 for John Smith, which in Q3 we have 20,000 for John Smith. So it knows exactly what you're trying to do, so you're all good. Now, like I said, make sure that this is anchored in, otherwise this next part will not work. Now we also want to lock in all of these different targets, so that way they don't shift down. We'll hit that same F4. So the only thing that shouldn't be locked in is A2. And the reason why I want to do that is when we drag the formula down, I want to look at the next associate instead of the original. So now we can drag the formula down all the way to the end of the column, and we have all of our different targets. And when I select a different quarter, all the different targets will update automatically. All right, so for the amount sold, we're going back to our basics. We're going to do a sum ifs formula. So sum ifs, the sum range will be the amount sold, and this will be from the performance tab. The criterion range will be associate from the performance tab. The criterion 1 will be the associate. Criterion 2 range will be the quarter from the performance tab. And then the criterion range 2 will be our dropdown right here. So I need to anchor in this dropdown. Everything else is good to shift. You can see down here we have those zeros, and that's because there is nothing to add. Instead of seeing these right before the sum ifs formula, we're going to type if, open parentheses, is blank, open parentheses, A2. 2, close parentheses, comma, comma. Then I'll press enter, accept everything. So now if there's a value in column A, then you'll see the calculation. If there is no value, if it's blank, then you won't. All right, so all this should look familiar. For example, if we go to Samantha Clark, go to targets, for Q1 we have 5,000, and then for Q1 for Samantha Clark we have 513. And this is the same exact data that we did the original chart configuration with, but now if we select Q2, it will update, Q3, it will update, Q4, it will update. So you're able to see exactly how each of these associates performed for each quarter within seconds. Now, what if somebody leaves? We don't want to necessarily report on somebody that's inactive because who cares how they performed, they're not here anymore. Instead of having all of our associates like this, we're going to do something a little bit different. So I'm going to go to targets, just to the left of target, and I'll put active. I'm going to make it a checkbox and then mark all of them as true. Under chart, I'm going to type equals, filter, open parentheses. I want to return the associate. So this will be the associate under targets, where active under targets equals true. And we're getting a reference error because it's trying to overwrite data in A3. I'm going to go ahead and delete everything that's currently there. And now everything works based off of this formula. So what this is doing is it's filtering the list of targets, all the associates, and it's only including the associate if this is marked as active. So let's say that we actually have a bunch of people leave and now they're inactive. If I go back to my chart, you can see that all those additional people are now gone, and we're only showing the ones that are active. So that's a good way to be able to see which ones are actually still there and how they're performing without cluttering things up with inactive people. I hope you found this video helpful. As always, don't forget to subscribe. Let me know if you have any questions and like and comment for more.